Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Now before we begin, I'm gonna ask that you hit that like button. Go and subscribe to this channel and share me if you're feeling the content. Go and share me now. Hit like and subscribe. Do me right. Real nigga shit. Alright, this story is gonna be centered around a dude named Smurf out of the Orlando area, out of Orlando, Florida area, right around the Mercer Drive. From Mercer Drive to like Silver Star Road, all the way right before you hit Apopka, Clackawanna Accord, right before you get over there and cross over Clackawanna Accord, you're going into the Apopka Ram, Lockhart, Apopka area, back behind that shit, but y'all will get it. So, Smurf, I'm recalling this one here. I'm about 10 years old. You know, I'm off Mercer Drive. My sister got a little apartment over in that bitch in Windsor. They used to be called the Palms Apartment, but now it's called Windsor Cove or some shit like that. Well, Smurf had started this gang called the Smurf. Their colors was green, white, and black. They used to wear 2 to 3 flags on them at a time. And this was a very notorious gang here in Central Florida back in the day. They used to war with the people in Beirut. I got a story about Beirut, downtown Orlando area. That's crazy, spooky, and knocked up fucking crazy. So Smurf, let me describe Smurf to you. Smurf was like one of them Trinidadian dudes, but not like the Trinidadian cats that look black like me or some shit. He was like one of the Trinidadian dudes that looked more Hindu Indian, but he didn't look Hindu Indian. So just to put it in perspective, Smurf had really good curly straight hair. I mean, it's like a bitch put a perm in his head and he kept it in a little flat top style thing with little Bart Simpsons drawn in the back of it and shit. So he was fly, but his skin was always like a charcoal smoke colored gray, sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, but y'all done seen one of these Trinidadian cats that they don't got the black skin like regular African Caribbean brown people, but they got that grayish dark tone to them. I don't know how to describe it. Fuck it. I ain't finna insult nobody on this bitch. Well, so Smurf had some, but his skin was very shiny and coconutty, oily, shiny. I mean, but it just wasn't, he just wasn't brown black like the majority of the people in there, so he stood out like a sore thumb. So Smurf was very charismatic. He became the leader of a gang. He started his own people. He doing his thing. Woo, woo. So now Smurf always liked to emulate the California people. He idolized the gangbanger that had the button up plaid shirt, like the Mexicans and the Crips and the Bloods that used to put on the flannel shirt with the t-shirt and the dicky pants and the bedroom shoes or Chuck Taylors or some shit like that. And he used to always think he was like real cool. And so he started the gang, a local gang, and these weren't no young cats. The Smurf was in his 20, 21, 22. And all the dudes that started the gang, they was like young cats too, like young adults, 20, 21, 22, 25. If it was a motherfucker in the gang, 27, I would be surprised. That's a senior citizen, you feeling me? So Smurf said, okay, we finna take over Mercer Drive, we finna rip and run, we finna rob, we finna do this, we finna do all that. So Smurf now was serious for it. So they'll run up in your highs, they'll see a chick they want, they'll follow behind her in the house, and all along been done ran through the chick and shit. It got savage. So the regular men in the community, they needed a way to protect themselves from Smurf and his gang. And keep in mind, the gang was called the Smurfs. So all the old heads in the neighborhood, they kept trying to figure out, oh, what we gonna do about these gangs and these no good boys coming up here scaring us, ripping us, roughing us up and shit like that. So being that my family, cousin and all them, being that these motherfuckers was straight savages and hitters and, was heavy into the marijuana and cocaine drug trade in Central Florida back at that time. It's kind of like my family was isolated with the shit. And then being that grandma was who she was, you know, she was the witch lady for the whole fucking Mercer Drive down there. So nobody really fucked with my sisters or me or everybody. It was like, okay, you know, them motherfucking niggas off limits. So one day, Smurf gets shot up in front of Princeton Hospital. At that time, Princeton was a hospital. Right now, they turned into some kind of mental asylum, Lakeside and shit, where you get services for special needs people and they dish out medication to people. So Smurf had went to the emergency room. He had got shot up on Mercer Drive. So the ambulance drove right out there to the road, got him, caught his ass right on back up in there. They patching him up. They patching him up and shit. He gonna make it. So everybody on the thing, the Smurf gang, they dressed in their green, white, and black. They come up there to the hospital, and they sitting out there. Oh, we here to see my nigga Smurf. We here to see my nigga Smurf. And the doctor was like, you can't see Smurf. So you know how gang bangers, tough niggas is. They just push their way on through the bitch, right? So when they got in there, my grandma had already been up there because Smurf had called grandma, and they used to call grandma Gammy, because you know. Smurf, he had a speech impediment, so he really couldn't talk fucking good. But he was like, Gammy. I guess he was saying granny. I don't fucking know. I was 10. So when the gang barged in, grandma was already there. I had stayed the night at grandma's house, me and my sister, so grandma had us sitting in the lobby. So when I see all them walk up there, they ain't had no security or nothing like that. So we followed them up there. We on the elevator going up there to about the 3rd, 4th floor. And I'm hearing them talk about how they gonna go and ice out these niggas and all that shit there. So when they got up there, they said, nigga, you all right? Let's go get it. Let's do what we gotta do. Woo, woo. So grandma was like, y'all calm that shit down. Sit the fuck down. Let me finish healing him. So they were like, what the fuck this old bitch doing? So they called her out her name. And I kid you not, Smurf, still stapled up, bandaged up and shit. He lift up and he pointed his finger. He said, you disrespect this one right here one more time. He say, boy, I'm gonna hurt you myself. And they were like, who she is? So they were like, just don't disrespect us. So, oh, my bad. He said, apologize. So that's how much power Smurf had over some real killer. So grandma like, y'all shut up. So grandma was in there doing magical spells. So now I'm finna tell y'all the spell. Cause I'm just laying the trap. I'm laying the trap for you ass cause the story finna get weird. But I'm finna tell y'all the spell she did. Hope y'all got y'all shit together. So grandma had went and got one of them gourds. Them gourds from like, I use them in my spiritual work. It's like the gourd you cut in half. I think they call them butternut squash. But you'll go to like some of the islands and you'll see them dried up gourds where they done turned them into water bottles and then hollowed them out, let them dry up, and they did some shit and you could put water in them and carry them around like a water sack, but they was gourds. So grandma took the gourd, she poured all her little mixture in it that she had in her little big ass purse, and she was like sitting it on his chest. And she was just going up and down his chest, shaking the water. The doctor walked in and saw what grandma was doing, and the doctor smiled at her and said, oh, Gunju. And he said, oh, I'll be back. Let me know when you're done. The doctor walked out that bitch smiling. I'm looking at the little fat ass white man walk out that bitch like he know grandma, so grandma did this shit before. So she put the gourd on Smurf's chest, and she was going from the top of his head to his testicles. Top of his head till his testicles. She just kept on and she swishing whatever the liquid was around there in that bottle, and she kept swishing it. And I swear, people, as grandma was swishing this liquid, like swishing the liquid, it's like the liquid got louder in the bottle, and the bottle started filling up with water. Now I can tell you this, if that gourd was dry, because grandma walked in there with the bitch upside down, wasn't no water coming out. And after she put like 2-3 drops or something in here, grandma, that thing had filled up with water. Whatever grandma was drawing out that baby, out Smurf, it was getting put in that jar. So grandma went over there to the sink and she dumped it out. And when she dumped it out, all kind of like thick mold. It's like whatever was in there started molding. like grass, like mulch. And she dumped it out, and the smell was so bad. She dumped it out and she pulled it down the drain. She hit the water on it. So she added like 1 or 2 more little things of liquid in that bitch. I mean, small amount. I seen it myself. And she kept doing it. So she did this like 3 or 4 times. So after she did this about 3 or 4 times, she called the gang over. There were like 5 of them, 6 of them had been in the room. She said, "Come here, get y'all ass over here. You want to talk so much." And she called them and she said, "Each one of y'all hold this." And she made each one of them hold the end, like put the 2 fingers from each hand. Every last one of them had to surround the bed with her at his feet, like at his feet area, and everybody was around his head, and they had to lean over and they held the bottle, the gourd, and I couldn't touch it. She said, "You sit your ass there and don't fucking move. You can't touch that." And so everybody had their hand, and I'm seeing her going up and down from the boy top of the Smurf head to the bottom of his crotch, top of his head, and she's swishing it around. And she made them have their hand on that thing for at least 15, 10 minutes till the motherfucker was sitting up there. "Man, my back hurt. I'm leaning funny." She said, "Don't fucking move." And she would call them idiots, cursing them out, and she was doing it. We stayed up at that hospital for every bit of like 3, 4 hours while she had that gangbanger working Smurf over with that damn gourd thing she was doing. All of a sudden, Smurf got up out the bed, walked to the bathroom, took a piss, took a shit, started putting on his clothes. The doctor like, "Where you going?" He like, "Man, I don't got no pain. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm finna leave." So the doctor like, "Well, you gotta talk to the police because you been shot." And grandma say, "No, he don't." And the doctor say, "Okay, well, we won't call the police." I mean, that's how much power grandma had. And then she was like, "Smurf, lay down. Let me look at you." So Smurf took off his clothes, laid back down. Let me tell you, all Smurf bullet wounds were healed, people. The nigga had no blood. He was healed. Now, grandma told him, and y'all hear me good. She say, "Nah, all y'all that had to make it in this, y'all just gave him some years off y'all life. I want y'all to know that now. Now, I don't know how many years you had left. I don't know how many hours a day. But if y'all okay with giving y'all man Smurf, y'all homeboy, some years off y'all life? Yeah, that's my dog. I ride for my dog. I do whatever for my dog. Woo, woo, woo." So Smurf was like, "I appreciate that." So Smurf go in his bag and he dropped 10 stacks on grandma. Now, 10 stacks 30 years ago was some change. It's $10,000. Grandma say, "Boy, hold this." So I'm sitting out there holding the motherfucking bag in a plastic Winn-Dixie bag, doubled up. So I put the bitch under my coat. So she said, "Okay, y'all remember that." She told every last one of these boys that they had, in order for Smurf to live, she done took some time off their life, and she put it in the gourd, and that's what healed Smurf. So 2, 3 years passed. Smurf still out there wilding, the gang making money. They terrorizing Orlando. Now they getting into it with Beirut, downtown Orlando. Them boys, it was them boys. They was, before it was a Crip and the Blood in this bitch, it was the Smurfs, and they wasn't nothing to be fucked up with. Local hometown head busters. So Smurf was like, damn, fucked up. So Smurf started thinking he was invincible. And Smurf started doing some crazy shit, getting the gang in some crazy shit. So as I told y'all how they used to have me, a young cat, robbing the pawn shop. They were ramming in there. I was small. I could get in the little place, open the door, smash and grab, and we out that bit. So Smurf was like, okay, let's do this. So Smurf started putting them dudes in some harm's way. So by the end, the dudes, they done got baby mamas and shit. They chilling, they trying to do good, or they, the gang life was getting old. Shit, they was 25, 24, 25. So now they 25, they trying to do something, settle down. They falling in love and shit. Ain't no hot boy heaven no more. This is motherfucking real life shit. Now I'm grinding, hustling, selling dope, ripping and robbing, to support my family. The priorities change. Boy, that's finna get crazy. So one day, they go to Fantastic Skating Ring. That was out there off of Colonial. Right now, it's a Caribbean Sunshine. I mean, it's a Golden Crust restaurant right there. But back in the day, right there, it was Fantastic Skating Ring. And we used to go there and chill and shit, right by Johnson Record. I did a story on Johnson Record as too, all in that same area. So they at the Fantastic Skin Ring party and chilling. A gunshot break out. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, one of the Smurfs end up dead. Boom. One of the Smurfs end up dead. Nigga got shot in the chest I think it was 5 to 6 times. Keep in mind that number now. It was 6 of them. He got shot in the chest 5 to 6 times. Boom, died on the spot in the parking lot. They get him, they caught him, they write him off. It's only been 2 years since Smurf been healed now. So grandma found out the news. Grandma say, ooh, say, he must ain't had that long to live. That's all grandma said. That's it. I heard it with my own mouth say, oh, he must ain't had that long to live then. Okay. Everything, they buried him, shit going crazy. 1 or 2, 3 more years done passed. Now these dudes in their 27s going hitting 30, you know, and now they ain't so much a terror. Now they old heads and they got records, so they gotta be cool with the police. So now they sitting up there. One of the dudes was out there fucking around in a Apopka. He was fucking around with one of them Apopka chicks. So as he fucking around with one of the Apopka chick, he come home. I mean, he came to the chick house, and I'm just telling you secondhand from what Grandma was telling me. So he come home to the chick house from Orlando, knowing Orlando didn't supposed to be in Apopka back in them days. Nigga, we was isolated. You don't go to Apopka, you don't go to Kissimmee, you don't go to South Chase if you ain't from them places. And if you is trying to get some trim or some scooch in that motherfucker, you better make sure that girl done told her brother and them who you is and you got approval. It wasn't gangs, it was neighborhoods back in our day. So he got there in Apopka. So he go to the girl house to see his old lady. Her brother have a bunch of dudes on the porch. So he get out his car and it's all candy apple painted red and shit. He doing this thing. So he walk in there, stupid nigga leave the goddamn car on ignition with the music bumping. So our brother and them, you know, they savages, they goons. They just as hard as us from Orlando. They sit in the man's car. They open in the man's sunroof. They smoking in the weed in the man's car. He like, nigga, that's Velvet Crush C. What the fuck you doing? So he go out there, him and the girl going on a date. He going on a date, he swing on her brother like, fuck, nigga. So now all the boys come off the porch and now they jumping him, stomping him out. So as he was stomping him out, so he ends up pulling his gun. He reached in his car, pulled his gun from the side of the seat. He went to aiming at one of the dudes on the porch. The chick he went up there to see in the pocket ended up stabbing him in the back. She stabbed him, boom. Stabbed him in the back. He fall down. Then, after she stabbed him in the back, he bleeding. And he like, bitch, you my lady. And bitch, we in love. We got a baby on the way. And she like, I can't let you kill my brother and my brother friend now. And he like, that's fucked up. And the dude just died like that, right there. Now, this is 5 years after they did this shit with Smurf, brought Smurf back from the dead, healed him, whatever. So, the news get out. We all go to the funeral. Grandma say, ooh. Grandma say, ooh. Say, he lived longer than I thought he would because he was the bad one. Grandma say, damn, God, he was on borrowed time. That's all Grandma said. Keep in mind, you got 3 more of these motherfuckers to go. And the majority of the story is going to be like this, people. So, a little bit more time passed. Motherfucker mixing it up with this and that. Another dude, he sat up there and he commit suicide. He just was going through something, I don't know. Child support probably got their hook into his ass and ran him through. Because this one here had like 8 kids. And guess child support dug in his ass and fucked him up. So he sitting up there stressing and he just go to the park and he just shoot himself in the head. And he fall over in the water. He literally drove all the way to a park, like, not like if you were going to Ocala area. It's like this park right off 27, this little boat dock ramp shit. And he just hang over the little pier and shot himself in the head. Bam! He floated down. They found his body. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was holding the trigger so tight that the gun was still in his hand. At least that's what they say. He shot himself in the head. I'm gonna leave that shit like that, allegedly shit. Bitch, don't come back trying to get me talking about I know shit. I don't know nothing. I'm secondhand information is. So, he shot himself in the head, leaving 8 children. Grandma found out. So now it's only Smurf and two more left. So when Grandma found out, Grandma said, "Ooh, that was such a beautiful boy. Ooh, I'm so sad he gone." And Grandma shedded a tear for him because she was like, he was going to be so fine and sexy when he grew up. She used to always call him sexy man and all. She used to say all kind of flirtatious shit to him, you know, and he just smiled because he knew he had it going on. That bitch had 8 babies. He knew what he was doing. So now it's 2 left. So now one of them go to Grandma, one of the dudes in Smurf gang, go to Grandma and say, "Remember we did that thing with that gourd and you told that we gave a little bit of our time to Smurf?" And Grandma was like, "Yeah, y'all said y'all agreed to it." And he was like, "Well, I don't want to get Smurf no more of my time. Can I take it back?" That was the first time I seen Grandma look up, and Grandma put on her glasses, and Grandma put her hand in her pocket because she never wore dresses. Grandma always wore pants. She 2-piece pants set like a motherfucker. So Grandma put both her hands in her pocket, and she stood wide-legged and looked at that motherfucker and was like, "Bitch, don't you ever fix your mouth to say that. I'm not finna undo nothing that I did. That boy paid me good money and y'all agreed. So whatever stuck there. And dude like, "Well, Gammy, I don't want to die." He say, "I see the shit." He say, "Cause my sister, she into that stuff, man. She done been over there to Haiti and they done told her how the life transfers work." He like, "I don't want to die. And I think that's what's happening. You know, we gave our days to him and this nigga still out here wilding." She say, "I don't want to die." She say, "Well, I don't know what to do, baby. I did that spell. Now you can pay me for another spell or you can go get your sister to do some shit. But my work is solid." And say, "Then you need to go talk to Smurf. Have Smurf come talk to me and we'll do some shit and we'll make sure you don't die out quick. I don't know what's going on, or we'll tell Smurf calm down, stop wilding, and stop putting himself in a situation." Thank you, Gammy. Thank you, Gammy. So the dude went and did exactly what Smurf had said. So now the one of the other two, he had moved, and if I'm not mistaken, he had moved up there to like Atlanta, Georgia. And when he moved to Atlanta, Georgia, he was trying to go start the Smurf gang out there in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's when he ran into the Black Mafia family. And, you know, he was into music, clothes, guns, hoes. He was trying to be like dope boy. Local, we were country gang banging niggas back in the day. So Smurf was just selling dope, robbing bitches, you know, jacking other people, stealing their rims, low level shit. This motherfucker went up there to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and tried to join with the Black Mafia family and got too much out of his league. So when he up there, so he was up there doing good, about 7 years. So now everybody in they early 30s, man. And bitch is chilling. Now I'm a grown ass man. I can see what the deal is. I'm banging myself. I'm part of a gang, not their gang. I'm part of some shit. I'm banging myself. So I'm like, oh man, that's fucked up. So he go up there, Black Mafia family start getting fucked up, getting caught up in some shit, right? Now he starting to get caught up in some shit. Although he was the richest of all along, they put him in some shit and he got X'd out, like trying to be the right-hand man to one of the Black Mafia family people. And this secondhand information now, so I don't know nothing about none of these gangs, so don't come for me with the dumb shit, boy. So secondhand information. I'm just telling you my grandma's side of this shit. So he got caught up in the Black Mafia people allegedly set him up to take the fall. So when they set him up to take the fall, police raided, thump. Police dumped so many bullets in that boy, man, when they raided that house to get them necklace and that money. Boy was Swiss cheese. So boom, grandma heard. Oh man. Damn, I'm so sorry to hear that though. Cause he was up there sending money back to Smurf. Smurf was still the leader of the gang. And Smurf wasn't recruiting no more people because he was too busy, then got strung out on coke doing this thing. So now it's just one left. The dude that was left, he was a Haitian dude. And his sister now were back and forth to Haiti and shit at that time, getting that shit together when it came down to their spirituality, that voodoo. So, you know, they didn't want to fuck with that. So his sister had data protection on him. Y'all listen to me fucking good. If you don't hear anything I'm saying in this motherfucking story, listen to me good. His sister took that boy to Haiti, flew him to Haiti. They went up there and they sat with them motherfucking voodoo priests, them Loas and Bakus over there. and they talked. And that boy sat over there for 7 days. That boy said he had shit on himself. Said they wouldn't let him leave this dark ass room. He couldn't see the light of day. They had him blindfolded. They had his head in a box. I'm telling you what he told me, people. He told me and Grandma this. This is what they had to do to undo Grandma's shit. They put a blindfold on him. They took him in this dark ass room that was not AC, not air conditioned. He had to have on long sleeve shirt, long sleeve pants, socks, shoes, gloves, even one of them damn turtlenecks things, so his skin could not feel air. His skin could not see no light. No light could touch his skin. And they had him in there. They blindfolded him. They put a black box over his head. They turned out all the lights in this room. And them witch ladies over there, them voodoo people, they just played music the whole motherfucking time. Live music, not none from no recording. They were beating drums. One lady would come and switch out and she would beat the drums 8-9 hours a day. Another one switch out. 7 days, man. 7 days. Constant drum playing, constant chanting, constant dancing, constant fires burning outside the motherfucking little hut he was in. And he said he laid on the ground, and when he laid on the ground, he felt like worms was coming out of his body. And he was telling me and Grandma that. He said he felt like something was crawling out of him, not on him, out of him. Get me this shit. Boy, I need a drink. Listen to this bitch, yo. So it felt like the shit was coming out of him. So for 7 days, he had to do that. Say when they finally came in and got him, he had lost so much weight because he didn't eat. He was just laying down there. And he had lost so much weight, but he did what he's supposed to do. And the lady was like, I now raise you from the dead. You are no longer a dead man walking. You're no longer a dead man walking in Creole, because he just trying to, he was describing what they were saying. And all of a sudden, the dude got out of there. He said he dropped some cash off on them Haitian chicks over there, them Haitian Loas and Bocus and Mambos and shit. So he dropped some heavy cash on him. Said he left that bitch, and he said he had to give at least $35,000, $40,000. He left it in their hand. 7 days, $45,000 to $35,000. He came back to the States. Now y'all pay close attention to what I'm gonna say. When he came back to the state, first person he went and seen his grandma. Grandma like, baby, you look so bad. You want something to eat? Grandma fixed him something to eat. He was talking and drinking, and he could only drink water. He couldn't drink nothing with sugar in it. He couldn't drink no liquor, so he was eating regular food and meat, but he just had to drink water for like 10 more days to get his juices back in it. So he told Grandma what they did, and Grandma said, good, good. Grandma said, because I couldn't reverse that spell if I wanted to, because the contents of that jar was poured down the drain and washed out, and it had been 10 years since all these people had done all this shit, right? So Grandma said, I couldn't undo it if I wanted to, baby. Sorry, I was so mean to you. Nah, he had got the dead spell off of him because he had gave Smurf some of his life energy. Tell me why. Smurf out there chilling. Half of his gang brothers dead. Smurf like, I'm finna get his shit up. I'm finna walk the right path. Smurf goes into the Pizza Hut that was off of Colonial Drive. And off of Colonial Drive and Mercer Drive, it was a Pizza Hut there, nice, a car lot. Hyundai car lot and shit. Buick probably. I think it's a Honda or a Hyundai car lot right there where the old Pizza Hut used to be. So Smurf go in there to get some pizza. He's sitting down, he eating some pizza. Two dudes coming there to rob the Pizza Hut. They look over there at the corner. They see him over there. They shoot him. Pop, pop, pop. Or they shoot at him. Pop, 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 pop. Because they didn't want no witness. So he thought he was hit because he like, ah. And he fell in the seat. The dudes who robbed the thing thought they hit him because they got out of there. And then they shot the little white dude at the register. Dude was complying, man, from what Smurf was telling us. Dude was complying. Man, white boy, take the money. And gave the man the money. Then they even stole some of the little garlic and pepper powder packs and shit you had sitting right out there with some toothpicks and free peppermints. Them bitches that was savage. They shot his ass on the way out the door. They running out the door, and it ain't funny. But the way Smurf described it, I'm a jit and I'm a savage at the time. He said they was all the way out the door. Say that as they was running out the door, they got out the door. They came back in, opened the door, pointed the gun the man direction, and shot the gun. Bow, stung him in the shoulder, and then ran off. They like, bitch, they had got away. Why did they come back just to hit old boy? But they were just hateful fucking niggas. I know it ain't funny to some, but baby, I grew up hard. So they came back and hit the pizza cashier man. Boom. They didn't kill him, just put him on his ass. So Smurf didn't get hit. Only person got hit in the store was the pizza man, and they shot up the joint. So Smurf's like, Grandma, your magic saved my life. Your magic saved my life. They shot at me. No bullet hit me. I thought I was hit. Oh my God, I love you. You do great work. I love you. I love you, Gammy. I love you, Grammy. He hugging him. He going in. I'm gonna give you some more. He going in his pocket. He dropping stacks on Grandma. Grandma like, baby, what you give me this for? No, baby, I'm just happy you're living. Grandma laughing, and she in the moment because it's a joyous time. No less than 7 days after that robbery, that motherfucker got up and he couldn't move. His wife, because he had got married, his wife like, what's wrong with you? He's like, baby, I can't move. Call the doctor. Went to the doctor. Well, ain't no holes in you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. I don't know. He's like, no, I just can't move. So they put the boy in the nursing recovery, and he like had to go to rehab, so he learned how to walk again, like he had got paralyzed. So all while he was sitting up there paralyzed, not paralyzed, but like stiff knees, legs, joints, he just had lost his mobility. He had on like one of these old-fashioned canes you would get from Walgreens or CVS, and he would walk around with that bitch, and he was like, I don't know, something wrong, and he was always shivering like he had poxy or like a bullet hit his nerve. He was shitting on himself, so he was just fucked up. So he was like, Grandma, what's wrong? What's wrong? And Grandma told him, say, you know, old Ptolemy went back to Haiti and got some spiritual work done. And you know how all your boys were dying and shit like that. Say that Ptolemy got some spiritual work done, so he ain't linked to you no more. So I guess when Ptolemy removed his essence from you, that allowed shit to hurt you. And he was like, but you did a protection spell. She said, I didn't do a protection spell. She said, I brought your ass back from the dead. That's a big difference. And your homeboys gave you gave you their life force. And you sitting up here complaining because you crippled. Bitch, you crippled and you complaining when all 5 or 6 of your homeboys dead and you still out here chilling, making all this money, living, fucking, breeding. She said, you ain't got nothing to sit up here and be mad at anybody for. Because you lived a good fucking life while these boys was dying because they loved you. Say, Ptolemy family knew what the fuck he was doing. So he was like, so he went in, so from what Grandma said, he went and got on the phone and called Ptolemy. And Ptolemy like, hey man, I'm gone, man. I'm back in South Florida with my family, my Zol, Sapase, and he talking all that type of shit, and his Haitian accent had got thick. And Grandma said he was speaking Creole to Smurf, which Smurf didn't understand. But he was like, you know, Smurf, I don't want to be fucked up with you no more, nigga. And Ptolemy didn't even know Smurf had got like shot at or crippled or anything. So Smurf started carrying around this cane, a cane very similar to what I got in here. And he carried around a 357, very similar to what I got in this picture. And he had started smoking cigars, not weed. And he would walk around with that cane. And then Grandma said, that boy idolized them motherfuckers from California who used to pretend like they had got shot and hurt, and the bullet wound got them limping on a cane and shit, and they got their pistol and their cigars or their weed in their hand, and they holding themselves up on a cane and shit, and designer canes at that. Like, she said, that boy idolized that shit, and look at him. Grown ass man, ain't even made it to 40. And he's sitting up there on a cane. And Grandma told me, you watch who the fuck you idolize. You watch what you put in your mind of how you want to look and live and be when you get up in life. Say, I saved that bitch, brought him back from the dead. But his mind image was too built on the California gangster Crip and Blood issue. And Grandma say, well, that's what he got. He got what he wanted. I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. Until Smurf died, because Smurf is dead now. Until Smurf died, he always walked around on a cane and carried a gun. Never got in any gun battle, never fought. He always had a cigar or a Swisher Sweet, and he went around on a cane. Now, I went thrift shopping, and this cane that I got in this picture is very similar to the one he used to have, so I purchased it. This is not his cane. I just wanted to give you guys a reference. And he walked around like that, and Grandma used to shake her head every time she seen him. She'll stop her car sometime and give him hugs if you catch her at the store buying some lotto tickets and shit, and she'll kiss on his face and tell him how pretty he was and how she liked his hair and shit like that. But Smurf went to his dying day walking with a limp, you know, cause of whatever happened to him. And the fucked up part about it, people, no bullets touched him. He got out the hospital with all 5 of his close gangbanging buddies that gave their life energy to him. And while he was out there wilding, doing dumb shit, they was taking death's rap for him. Until the one Haitian dude got smart, went over there to Haiti, dropped all that money, paid them damn voodoo priestesses and priests to get that shit up off him. And baby, Smurf got what the fuck was coming to him. That boy supposed to been dead long time ago. All them bullets hit his ass. Now I'm gonna leave y'all with that right there. I don't know, was this story scary? I don't know, was it funny? I don't know, was it a savage fucking tale of the heart? But one thing I'm gonna tell y'all better be careful what y'all impressing y'all subconscious mind, because that end result just may be what the fuck you looking for. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm tight. Telling everybody stay safe out there and keep your mind clear, because, baby, it's a crutch when you're worried. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.